In this video, I will be making a comparison, kind of some pros and cons between a stairway built with brackets and one built with dadoed or routed notches in the stringer. Now, I do need to point out that if we're not going to be notching or removing any material from a stringer, then the first thing I need to point out will be that a stairway like this is going to be a little stronger. How much stronger? I don't really know. I've never seen either one of these stairways crack in half because there was too much weight on them. And of course, you could always go to larger stringers. We're using 4x12s here. You could always go to a 4x16 or a 6x12, something like that. So that will be our first pro for the stringers or the stairway with the brackets. And for the most part, that is probably going to be the only advantage, because the biggest disadvantage is going to be these things loosening up over time, and that could be from a variety of different reasons. I've seen the bolts fall out. I've seen the heads of the bolts pop off, and I've seen I myself have installed these before with an impact driver and broke the heads off. So it's a brand new thing. I can't do anything about it. I got a bolt stuck in there. Often what I would do if I did break this one off, one over here, I would just put a bolt down here, get a washer, and then put a bolt underneath it, a lag screw. And if it happened up here and I was worried about it, I could do the same thing. Get a washer and have the lag screw off to the side. I wouldn't drill another hole through the metal bracket. I would just simply put the lag screw off to the side and then have a washer. The washer would hold the bracket or make the connection that I would need to instead of the hole going through it, if that makes sense. Now let's take a look at what would have caused some of these problems. Dry rot, wood rot, termite damage, something like that. Wasn't uncommon to have debris get stuck between the treads, edge of the tread and the stringer, and over time the debris would accumulate moisture. Moisture would lead to the rot of the lumber. Once the lumber, the stringer was starting to rot, wasn't uncommon to see the bolts loosen up or even fall out. So this would have been the biggest problem that I came to with this particular with the brackets, and this would have been the reason why I would have repaired more of these than anything. If you just had one loose tread, you could usually repair it, and I might even have a couple of videos on that and how you could repair it. So twisted, warped, cupped treads, that would be another problem. You might have a tread that is flat on the other side, and then over here, because the tread is twisting, it's going to pull up. And I've said the lumber's not forgiving. I've seen this stuff pull up. Now, this isn't going to happen in the routed out stair stringers. You're going to have the treads are going to be locked in to the dadoed slots. So again, another advantage for the dadoed stringers, and of course a disadvantage for the brackets. And of course, I've seen plenty of stairs built like this. The reason why they have the treads about ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch away from the wood is because what I just said. It rots out. It accumulates debris. If they leave about a ½ inch gap or even a 3/4 inch gap, then they can easily clean the debris out with blowers and stuff like that. But sometimes that creates another problem. It doesn't allow the lag screws to get enough bite in. So let's say you're drilling one of these in here and it kind of goes to the path of least resistance and then pops out the side here. Seen that plenty of times. Then you're not going to have a good connection. So something like this, it would be an advantage on one side, keeping the debris out. Disadvantage if you can't bolt the treads, if you can't get them a nice connection there. So that is it for the bracket stairway. In my opinion, there is no comparison between this one and a routed out stairway. And the reason why I'm saying that, it's kind of like the repairs that I have made on these types of stairways are probably tenfold compared to the other ones. Now, in all fairness, there is probably 10 times as many of these stairways built as the one with the dadoed slots, because most people don't know how to do them. These aren't that difficult. This isn't that difficult of a stairway to build, and it's usually spec'd out by an architect, where the dadoed slots wouldn't be. And for those of you who do not know what a dadoed stringer is, that would be a stringer like this, something with a notch cut out of it that the tread could slide into, and that would provide it with enough structural support to prevent the tread from moving. So one of the problems you're going to have with something like this would be water kind of getting into the slot. And I've actually seen termite damage around here and wood rot. So something else you would have to keep your eye on. And then, it's like I've seen people glue the heck out of these things and have the glue sticking out. Well, this isn't going to keep the water from coming in if the wood is expanding and contracting. If this tread dries out and, it contracts, let's just say 1/8 of an inch, it's going to separate from the glue or pull the glue away from the tread, and you're going to have a gap in there. So, don't think that there's a cure-all or a method to build either one of these stairs that will not require some type of maintenance every once in a while. However, I can throw in one bonus tip at the end of the video here, and that would be to attach some type of a framing anchor, maybe an A35 on each side, to prevent the stringers from spreading apart. So you could space these out maybe 4 foot on center, something like that. You can use different brackets. You don't have to use this type of bracket. So one on each side. You can choose. You want to use your brackets and the dadoed stringers, knock yourself out. However, I do not think that will be necessary. A little overkill in my opinion, but at the same time, understand that some of you have just got to do what you've got to do. So go for it. Let us know how it works out. And any questions, comments, leave them in the comment area, and I will answer them as soon as possible.